Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to a meeting of the Licensing 2003 Act Subcommittee of the London Borough of Newham. Due to issues around the coronavirus COVID-19, in order to meet with our social distance guidance issued by the Government and Public Health England, the whole meeting today will be conducted via teleconferencing arrangements. So due to the above, we advise you as members of the public to keep watching us on this YouTube channel, and the recording is available on the video section of the London Borough of Newham YouTube site. Where there's references to page numbers, they are to do with the bundle that we are going through, which is available on the London Borough of Newham's website. Thank you very much. So we'll start then on page 2 of the agenda, declarations of interest. This is where, in accordance with the members, and any reference to members as a reference to the elected councillors here today, the members' code of conduct, this is in accordance with that it's a time for us as members to declare any disclosable pecuniary interests or non-pecuniary interests that we may have in any matter being considered at this meeting, having regard to the guidance attached to the agenda. I have no interest to declare. Councillor Lofthouse?
I have nothing to declare.
And Councillor Wilson, the other Councillor Wilson?
I have nothing to declare.
Thank you very much. We now move to agenda item 2, which is to be found on page 5 of our bundle, and this is the procedure. I will do introductions and then invite my other fellow councillors and everybody else who's on this call to introduce themselves. So I'm Councillor Neil Wilson. I'm the Chair of Licensing at London Borough of Newham. I represent Plaistow South Ward, and I'll be chairing throughout this meeting of the subcommittee. Councillor Lofthouse.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Councillor Jane Lofthouse, and I represent Plaistow South.
And Councillor Tony Wilson.
Good afternoon. I'm Tony Wilson, and I represent Recton Ward South.
Thank you very much. And now, can we have the our legal advisor for today, Simon, please?
Yeah, hi, my name is Simon Scrather. I'm legal advisor to this subcommittee.
Thank you very much. And can we have the presenting licensing officer, please?
John Chisley, I'm the case officer in this matter.
And those who are making representations today, please.
Joanne Perez, licensing enforcement on behalf of Colin Hunt.
Thank you very much. We did have representations from members of the public. They have been invited to this meeting. There are rules, obviously, regarding confidentiality, etc., but they're not physically. They're not physically present, because none of us are, but they're not virtually present. Is that still the case, please, Pauline?
Correct. There's no one in the waiting room.
Nobody else in the waiting room. So straight to the agent and the applicant, please. The applicant first.
Hello.
Just give your name.
My name is Elena.
Sorry.
My name is Elena Georgiou.
Thank you very much, Elena. And your agent?
Graham Hopkins, Chair for GT Licensing.
And the clerk, who's off screen but will be taking notes to be fair to everybody, please.
Nisha Lathigra, Democratic Services.
Thank you very much. So the way we proceed is to have a presentation from our licensing officer to present the officer's report, and this afternoon that will be John Chislett. Members, they are the elected councillors who make the decision. They are my colleagues, Councillor Lofthouse and Councillor Tony Wilson. We may seek clarification of matters in their report from the presenting officer, and then the applicant, responsible authorities and interested parties may seek any clarification of matters. Then we move to the relevant representations, and we have two, one of least of which will be heard. That will be from our licensing team here in London Borough of Newham, and Joanne is doing that on behalf of Colin Hunt today. The interested parties may come who are residents, but they're not actually here at the moment. They are allowed to come in at that point if they do desire. You then have, and we can ask questions, and so can the applicant and their agent, of the responsible authorities or any other interested parties. And then we ask the license holder to present their case or their agent on their behalf. I think I'll stop there. Is everything clear so far? We'll come back to it when we meet that. Can you just raise your hands? Everybody's clear, and you can still hear me. I'm just doing a sound check as well, because sometimes broadband width or something becomes unstable, or something keeps flashing up on screens. Anyway, agenda item 3 then, please. John to introduce. Thank you.
Thank you, Chair. Members of the Licensing Subcommittee are asked to hear and determine an application for a grant of a new premises licence for Ladanio Limited, 91A Upton Lane, E7, and any valid representations that have been made. An application for a new licence was received by the Licensing Authority on the 29th of September this year. It was advertised at the premises and the local newspaper, and a copy of the application is attached as Appendix A, pages 11 to 30. The application is for the supply of alcohol off sales Monday to Sunday, 0900 hours to 2100 hours, with the premises and opening times mirrored the same, although there is a slight error in the report that says 8 AM, but it is 9 AM if you look at the application. Representations have been received from the Council Licensing Authority as a responsible authority under the Licensing Act 2003. This representation has been made on the licensing objectives of the prevention of crime disorder and the prevention of public nuisance, and a copy of their letter is attached as Appendix B, page 31 to 32. 2 local residents have made representation against the grant of a new licence on the licensing objectives of the prevention of public nuisance, and a copy of their letter is attached in the private agenda pack, which members will have a copy of. Appendix C, by virtue of paragraph 1 of the Access to Information Procedure Rules set out in the Constitution pursuant to Schedule 12A of the Local Government Act 1972, as the appendix contains information relating to individuals. The public interest in maintaining this exemption outweighs the public interest in disclosing the information. Also, the report says that the application is in the CIZ, and it's not. So where the licensing authority decides to impose conditions on a licence, whether in a CIZ or not, such conditions must be appropriate and proportionate for the promotion of the licensing objectives, and conditions should be clear and unequivocal. The Secretary has stated it's issued guidance to licensing authorities to which they must have regard in carrying out their licensing functions. Members of the subcommittee should note that copies of the guidance are available at the meeting. Licensing authorities may only depart from the guidance if they have good reasons to do so. And as stated, this premises does not fall within the CIZ, even though it's in the report. The premises has not held a licence in the past, but on the 22nd of May this year, the applicant applied for a new premises licence. The application received objections against the grant of a new licence. On the 21st of July this year, the application came before the licensing subcommittee, where the licence was refused. A plan of the premises and the surrounding area are attached as Appendix E and F, pages 39 to 42. Members of the licensing subcommittee are asked to hear the application, the representation, and determine the application. And that concludes the report.
Thank you very much. Now, can we please and it's very important today, I think, that we look at the map of the area. So can we start, John, showing the map of the area? It's on our bundle on page 42.
Yep. So where the blue dot is, that is the location of the premises. This here is Upton Lane, and this road here is Grosvenor Road.
Yeah.
And then if I pull up the second map, which is the CIZ map, you will see that Grosvenor Road is here. The pink line here is Upton Lane, and this orange area is the CIZ area. So
sorry, we're not looking at the CIZ at the moment, John. We're still on the same screen.
Okay, I do apologise.
Don't worry, don't worry.
A second. Right, so I do apologise. Right, so there's Grosvenor Road there, on the bottom, just above the school. This pink line here is Upton Lane, and this orange block is the CIZ area.
So it is outside of CIZ, but fairly close by. Yeah, but it's definitely not CIZ where it's
not
located.
CIZ, no.
Thank you. And then the last one, was there just anything from me just before I bring other colleagues in? The report, as you said, was this typo. We're looking at the premises opening at 9 throughout the week, and the sale of alcohol is consistent with those opening and closing times, correct?
That's correct. Yeah.
Thank you.
Permitted hours and opening are the same, 9 a.m. till 9 p.m.
Thank you. I think there were only questions from me. Any further questions, Councillor Lofthouse?
I have none. Thank you very much. Chair.
Councillor Wilson, you're indicating?
Yes, thank you. You say that there's never been an application for premises license on this particular premises before, but there was one that was refused.
Yes, I said that it's never held a license,
Right.
but they applied earlier on this year for a license, which got refused.
Right. Okay. So it was the same applicant.
Yes.
Yeah.
And one other question. When did we become aware that the premises didn't fall within the CIZ zone?
This afternoon, Councillor Lofthouse highlighted it.
Thank you. Thank you, Councillor Lofthouse. Thank you, John.
Anything further?
No, that's it for me, Councillor.
Right. Thank you. Thank
Not
you.
with it today.
Any other questions? Anybody else? Graham or Elena? Any questions?
No, thank you.
No, thank you.
No, thank you. Right. And then so we'll move to the first representation, and Joanne is taking this on behalf of Colin Hunt. Thank you, Joanne. You're on mute.
And
We have doorbells. Are you expecting a
that's
parcel
me.
delivery?
I'm so sorry.
It does happen to me as well. Yeah.
I'm going to ignore it. I'm hoping they'll go away.
Right. Okay.
The council
That's
license. The council and licensing enforcement team would like to make a representation against the application as a responsible authority on the grounds of crime or disorder and prevention of public nuisance. The council licensing team, along with the police and council noise officers, has worked very hard to eradicate antisocial activities occurring in this particular area. This area has an issue with ASB and street drinking. We have had reasons to visit the premises as a licensing authority. A visit dated the 25th of September 2019 by a licensing and trading standards team was conducted to the premises at the above address, where we discovered it was being used and open for selling alcohol and storing for the sale without the relevant licence. This is an offence under section 136 and 137 of the Licensing Act, unauthorised licensable activities. Furthermore, trading standards also discovered for sale cigarettes and tobacco that did not conform to the required labelling under the Tobacco and Related Products Regulations 2016, and hence committed an offence under the said regulations. George McDougall from Trading Standards and Colin conducted an interview under PACE with a Mrs. Elena Gregorio. Sorry, the applicant who admitted selling the alcohol and tobacco and was remorseful. At this stage, a prosecution was decided not to be taken forward, but a warning letter and a destruction of the goods would be appropriate. However, the licensing authority would need to be satisfied and demonstrate to the committee that Ms. Scorgio understands the impact of selling alcohol in this already problematic area. There are a number of conditions proposed on the application submitted by the applicant's agent. I'm not convinced that these conditions that have been proposed will be adhered to. The licensing enforcement team lately are seeing an increase in the number of new licence applications that have been submitted via licensing agents or by solicitors on behalf of their clients, with a very comprehensive array of conditions attached to the operating schedule to promote the 4 licensing objectives. These applications have either come before the licensing committee or the applicants have been uncontested and a licence has been granted. Following the grant of the licence, some time later, the licensing enforcement team have carried out test purchases and/or routine licensing visits, and the premises licence holders, DPS or employees are operating outside the authorisation of the licence and have no knowledge of the conditions which could lead to offences under sections 136 of the Licensing Act 2003. On behalf of the Council Licensing Authority in its capacity as responsible authority, I would ask members of the subcommittee to consider this letter of representation. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Joanne. Now, on page 31 of our bundle, the paragraph, sorry, I'm having trouble turning my copy over. The paragraph, a visit dated. I'm sure it's a typo. Should it not say a visit dated to 25th of September 2020, not 2019?
Ah, it probably should, but I didn't know that there was the date was different because I wasn't at the visit. Sorry.
Yeah,
I'm sure it is a typo.
Yeah, so 2020. Are all parties in agreement with that? Jane, sorry, you're coming in.
I don't think I am in agreement with it, actually. I think it was that would make it after the previous application, wouldn't it, that we refused? We saw it in July, 21st of July 2020.
Yeah.
That visit was the 25th of September 2019. That application couldn't have got to us, could it? This application wouldn't have received us.
Right.
We wouldn't have received it. I think it was 2019.
I can see Graham's hand up, so it's me who's muddling up the water. Sorry, I'm trying to be clear on this. Are we clear on when this visit was? That's all I need to know. But now at this point,
It was 2019, Chair.
right. So Jane was right, I was wrong, but but this is, we are human. We're just
Yeah,
checking.
absolutely.
Yeah, we are just checking.
Thank you, Graham.
Thank you for that.
Thank you,
Thank you for the
Councillor.
clarification as well, Jane and Graham. Thank you. Now, on that visit, it was the current owner of the premises who was present, even though it was before this license was applied for. Is that correct, Joanne? It was the same person as who's in front of us today.
That's
Mr.
correct. Yes.
Giorgio.
Yes.
Yeah. And is it standard practice for an interview by both trading standards and the licensing team for an interview under the PACE regulations?
Yes.
Such contraventions. And at that stage, a prosecution could be pursued, but it was as a result of the applicant being remorseful. It was a decision made that it was a warning letter and destructions of goods.
Correct.
Yeah, thank you. I will move over to my colleagues. I think I'll start with Councillor Lofthouse, because she's very accurate today. She's been talking about CIZ boundaries and dates, so we'll start with her.
Right. I'm sure this probably would have been mentioned had it happened, but has there been a visit to the premises since? And if so, could you tell us about it? That was for...
Yeah, that's for Joanne. Yeah.
Have the premises been visited?
Not as far as I'm aware, but I'm going to check that right now through our uniform system as we're online. So
thank you.
I'll come back to you. Thank you.
Anything further while Joanne's doing that busy piece of work?
Yeah, I think that was the only one I wanted to be sure about.
It is definitely a relevant question. So Joanne, if you can find that for us. Tony, do you have anything for the licensing officer?
We're taking a little time to open, so I shall come back to you if that's okay, rather than hold things up.
Yeah, that's fine.
Thank you.
Yeah, but Tony, did you have anything? You're on mute, Councillor Wilson.
Thank you. So I just wanted to clarify, on the visit dated the 25th of September 2019, you had Licensing and Trading Standards team were present at the premises. And then further down, you've got, furthermore, trading standards also discovered for sales of cigarette and tobacco. Was that on the same date, the 25th?
Yes.
Thank you. Number 2. Right, you say on paragraph 32, paragraph 3 on page 32, you've got, I'm not convinced that these conditions have been proposed will be adhered to. Can you tell me what specific conditions that you read in the operating schedule that you were uncomfortable with?
I haven't actually looked at the whole of the conditions because it was Colin that made a representation. But I would imagine what Colin is actually saying is that they feel that they're worded in a way that which we've seen before in other applications to the authority, and they're not always perhaps explained or to the holder of the licence or to the applicant.
Okay, Jo. Thank you. Thank you, Jo.
You're still having difficulties finding the information on the number of visits? Joanne, can you hear me? Sorry, I'm still
Yes,
asking you a question.
I've just checked, and no, there have been no further visits apart from notice checks.
Right. Okay. I think we'll make progress unless there's any further question from the applicant or the agent. Graham, any questions at this point?
Only in light of what Councillor asked, Chair, I was just going to ask if there were any further incidents that Joanne was aware of, but until we can find that information.
No, there hasn't been. That's what we've established. Yeah.
Okay, that's fine. Thank you.
Now, obviously, the representations that are not for publication by virtue of paragraph 1 of subsection 4.2, paragraph 11 of our Constitution is a restricted item. So as the people to which it alludes are not on the call, we will just make a note here. I hope this is in order, Simon, as from the legal and governance perspective. We just note that it's here, but we won't have any questions pertaining to that. We'll just take a submission of written evidence when we go into our private session. Is that okay?
Yes, Chair.
Thank you. So, you've noted it, obviously, Elena and Graham, and you can address something, but please don't make references which might contravene anything to protect the identity of individuals. Because I will certainly stop the live recording if we can, if that happens. But I know we can sometimes slide into that habit. Okay, so is everything all right then? Shall we move to the applicant and their agent's case? Is that okay, councillors? Thank you. So, Graham or Elena first? Yeah.
It'll be me, Chair.
Thank you.
Chair, the application before you is obviously for a new licence for Lardagno. It's a small convenience store selling a range of Romanian foodstuffs and groceries. And Miss Giorgio now wishes to add a range of alcohol to her business offer so that Lardagno becomes a one-stop convenience store where customers can buy everything at one go. The modern trend, as we've said before in these hearings, rather than having to go to individual shops. Customer base is primarily the local Romanian and other East European community, although of course anyone is welcome. Ms Giorgio has owned the shop since the 3rd of May last year, 2019, and has held a personal licence issued by LB Newham since July this year. This is her first shop, Chair. Ms Giorgio is fully aware the shop is located, well, I was going to say isn't located now in a CIZ. The way I'd written it, sorry, it was relating to the CIZ. But she's aware of the problems in the area in general, the street drinkers, alcohol-dependent people, ASB, etc., and of the measures that are necessary to address that widespread problem of street drinkers and the resultant antisocial behaviour. Regarding the incident in September last year that's been raised in Colin's letter, what I would say on that, Chair, is that yes, I can confirm Miss Giorgio was and is still very sorry that that happened. It was due to a misunderstanding of her being her first shop, inexperience. She deeply regrets it and she is sincerely remorseful. We've heard now, and it's been confirmed, there have been no further incidents in the past 16 months. The shop is open. I have been there myself, and as you'll see from the list of conditions, we will be doing the usual thing. We're doing the training on induction and refresher training for the next year, if you're minded to grant the licence today. But I would ask you, bearing in mind the fact that that incident was dealt with by a warning letter, and the previous application didn't go through, and that may have been taken into account. I haven't seen the decision letter for that hearing. That maybe that incident should now be disregarded, and this application looked at solely on its own merits. The hours requested, I couldn't see anything in the new licensing policy about specific hours, but they're 9 till 9, as you've heard, daily or week, same opening hours, and well within traditional off-license hours. But my client did have regard to the fact there are residential properties nearby in Grosvenor Road, over the shops on both sides of the road, the problems in the area. So that's why she's not asked for an earlier start time, so that Lardagno does not become a magnet for street drinkers or alcohol dependent people looking to buy an early drink. Same in the evening. She wants to finish by 9 so that they don't go into the nighttime economy. Ms. Giorgio has proposed a full list of robust conditions that you'll see to fully promote the objectives. CCTV to the usual police standards. The important thing with this one is not only just inside the shop, but bearing in mind the concerns expressed by some of the two residents. We're covering the frontage outside, Challenge 25 proof of age policy, signage, incident book, full staff training, as I've said, on induction and every 6 months with refresher training, which we will be doing. Ms. Georgia is also, she's the only license holder at the moment as the DPS, but she's putting her son, who is, I've met, his English is good, and he's a responsible young man. He is going to, along with Miss Georgia's husband, they're going to do the personal license course and get a personal license too, so that we will actually have 3 license holders available. You will have seen the condition that we've proposed is that the premises license holder, the DPS, or a person trained by us and authorised by Miss Giorgio will be present at all times that alcohol is available for sale. So an ongoing auditable trail of responsible people. Some of the conditions, you'll also see that we're offering the model conditions that the licensing authority would expect to see. 6% maximum ABV for all beer, lager, cider or stout. Minimum of 4 cans of those to be sold at any one time. So we're not going to encourage the street drinkers. So I'm getting stuck with the papers, sorry. Minimum of 35 centilitre bottles of spirits, measured specifically to make sure that Lardagno does not become attractive to street drinkers, which is what my client doesn't want. It's a nice, family-oriented convenience shop. We do not want to have street drinkers there, people who are a nuisance. On that point, while we're talking about it, the residents have raised concerns about people gathering on the corner of Upton Lane and Grosvenor Road. I need to stress, Chair, that these are not customers of Lardagno. They do not go in the shop. Miss Giorgio is not currently selling either cigarettes or, of course, alcohol. So they're not buying their cigarettes in the shop and smoking outside. These are just people that gather, as they often do on street corners, and stand talking to their friends. Were they, if the license is granted, were they customers of Lardagno, then the conditions we're offering to address that matter will kick in, that the staff will monitor the frontage of the shop by CCTV. We will be displaying a notice saying there's a public spaces protection order in place and what that means. And the staff will also, if they see anybody on the CCTV, they have clear windows so they can see clearly. They will go and ask the drinkers, the loiterers, to move away from the premises. The ultimate sanction would be if they are customers, then that they would not be allowed to buy alcohol from this premises. And that would be the ultimate sanction that Miss Giorgio and her staff have. So we are addressing those issues. They'll also be ensuring that the frontage and the side of the shop along Grosvenor Road are kept clear of any litter, specifically from the shop, but obviously to keep the area clean and tidy. So I would suggest that those measures would look at and address the concerns residents expressed about those matters. What I do have to make clear is, of course, at the moment, Miss Giorgio has no jurisdiction over people in the road as a unlicensed premises. But if they are seen to be customers, if you grant the license today, they will be told politely to move. The police and the environmental health team, commercial environmental health team, Chair, have not objected, as you've seen, which we are pleased about. And I would suggest that's because they're satisfied with the application that it will fully promote the licensing objectives and not lead to an increase in antisocial behaviour. Regarding the fact the police have not objected, I regard as particularly important. Would I draw that to your attention? Obviously, they're the body you have to look to as a licensing authority for guidance on the prevention of crime and disorder. The fact that they're not raising any concerns under that licensing objective, I would ask you to give due weighting to in your deliberations today. There is the objection from Mr. Hunt, which we've looked at. I've addressed his concern about the incident in 2019 that was dealt with by a warning letter and by the stock being, the goods being destroyed. My client is, as I say, sorry and remorseful. It hasn't happened again some 16 months on. There's been no repeat, no complaints about noise or anything else on the shop. Regarding the other person's representations, I've addressed the points that they're not, the people they're complaining about now are not our customers. And if they were, we would be telling them to move away and displaying appropriate signage relating to the PSPO. So I think we've covered that. We're addressing the litter issue that they've been bringing, the residents have brought up. As I say, primarily these are going to be Romanian customers, and we consider, to be honest, that it's unlikely that the customers are going to cause a problem. It's going to, we think, be a low risk niche shop, but measures have been put in place. I've looked at the photo that was mentioned by one of the residents. It's somewhat unclear, the copy I've got, and to be honest, I couldn't see any people hanging around in any case, but it's a very unclear copy. So we're going to put those measures into place if members grant the license today, along with all the other measures that are proposed. Looking on from that, I can tell you that Miss Giorgio's other son, there's no question, I think, of them being involved in underage sales. Her other son has been a police cadet for the past 5 years and wants to be a police officer, and he's done test purchases on behalf of the police. So my client is fully aware of the ramifications of that side of things, and they've never had that problem alleged. So we won't be having problems with that. I was going to stand by my CIZ statement, but unfortunately all that work we put into that is now irrelevant. What I would say is that in view of what you've heard, the conditions we're offering, the past year, 16 months of no problems at this little shop, the fact that we're talking about, literally from what I've seen, is one small chill unit for some beers and wines, some spirits behind the counter, the limit that we've offered of 20%, conditions that people can't open and drink in the shop or outside, the fact that we won't be having plastic cups under the counter, there'll be no bottle openers, all responsible measures by a now, I would say, highly responsible operator. I would ask you to consider that the licensing objectives are fully promoted. There will be no increase in antisocial behaviour from this shop or cumulative impact, and I'd ask you to grant the licence. Thank you very much, Chair.
Thank you very much, Colin. Thank you. Now, can we start with the where you left off, really, with a question to the applicant, please? What do you understand as the 4 licensing objectives?
Can I just...
Sorry, I asked a question to the applicant, please.
I know her English is not her first language, so she might just need me to tell her what you're saying to her, because it's not a very good line and she's just a little bit nervous.
Well, it is Graham. Yeah, I think you've done these long enough to know that language is not, it's like, you know, when you did mention, and I will put this on record because it is a public meeting, you did say that this was a niche shop with a niche clientele, but my understanding of the guidance issued under Licensing Act is that you're serving alcohol to whoever comes in the door, whatever, even if it were to be primarily East Europeans. We have to not have a segmented approach to licensing.
Yes, of course.
So I understand the point about English not being a first language, but do you know what the 4 licensing objectives are?
What are the first 4 licensing objectives?
What is the 4 slides?
What the Act is based on. I can't tell you the answer.
Yeah, no, you don't tell me the answer.
No, you tell me.
No. The first one is the Challenge 25. because I don't need to sell the and the license objects to the license project to contain the prevent of crime, public safety, and prevention the public and prevention of children from harm. The challenge 25 is because if she comes someone on the shop and she told me because he wants the alcohol, you know, I need to ask in the first time from the ID. I need to check the photo and the date of birth.
Right. I'm sure my colleagues will have further questions. I just want to pursue this one about knowledge of the area, if it's okay, Councillor Lofthouse and Councillor Wilson. How long have you owned the shop? I think your agent says since the 1st of May 2019. Is that right? You've owned the shop.
3rd
You've
of
got an
May.
absolute ownership of the shop. You're not leasing it from somebody else. You own the premises.
Yeah.
Is it on a lease?
Yeah.
It's a lease, Chair.
Oh, it's a lease because you did
Sorry.
say owned. Yeah, so you're on a lease. How long is your lease for?
It's not lease from the shop. I pay the rent every month.
Yeah, but that's what we call a.
Sorry. No, it's not lease. No, it's not lease from the shop. I pay the rent every month.
You pay it to a landlord. How
Yes.
long is your contract of that particular paying the rent?
She renew every year, and this on April she expired the contract, and she give me from another year.
So it's a year by year,
yeah.
annually renewal contract. Thank you
Yes.
for that. And where do you live yourself? Do you live above the shop? Because we have people coming before our subcommittee who often live on the premises. Do you live in the area? Do you live in above the shop?
I'm live on the Maryland.
You live where?
Maryland station.
Maryland. Thank you.
Yes.
Maryland station. Thank you.
Yeah.
And my last question before I hand over to colleagues, since you've been paying the rent at this shop, what do you understand by the term antisocial behaviour and street drinking that's been mentioned in this hearing so far? What do you understand by antisocial behaviour and street drinking?
I'm not allowed and I'm not permit with someone to drink on front in my shop. So after the corner, you know, I need to explain this one is procedure, you know, I need to explain one time. And she need to, if you want to drink, she drink in the home, no in my front the shop, so in the corner because I don't want to. And this one is the policy from this license.
Right. Councillor Lofthouse, would you like to continue, please?
Yes, I'll carry on from your point, Chair. Regarding the licensing objectives, you've mentioned street drinking. How do you feel that you will prevent crime and disorder, promote the licensing objectives? How do you feel those conditions you have agreed to will prevent public disorder?
The prevent to crime, you know, I'm not in the first time I'm not selling the alcohol. If someone she come drunk on the shop, I'm not give you, you know. I need to explain because this one is my license and I don't want to have the problem, you know. I don't accept to drink in the shop. I don't accept to. I'm not buy the cups, the bottle, and everything. Anything. Sorry.
Could you develop that a little bit more in terms of street drinking and the problems in the area?
If you don't understand, I need to call on 999.
Any agree? Yes. Are there any conditions you might make that any of the conditions you have that might deter, might put off street drinkers? How are you going to stop them coming into your shop in the first place?
Sorry, can you repeat for me, please?
All right, street drinkers could come into your shop and buy alcohol. Yes? How might you discourage them? Why not come in your shop?
If someone he come drink on the shop, I'm not sell alcohol.
Right. You just,
I'm not sell alcohol. If he come drink, I'm not sell.
Do you wish to pursue any more, Councillor Loftus?
do you want to?
Can I push it a bit further?
Yeah, but please do. Yeah, you know, we do need to establish, because we are an administrative hearing, we have to establish that we have a full understanding of all parties of the licensing objectives, because we are deciding this based on the licensing objectives as laid out in the 2003 Act, with due cognizance of the guidance. So, you know, the applicant himself, I think, do pursue any line of inquiry consistent with that, please.
Yes, all right. So there are conditions that have been put on your license, perhaps to discourage street drinkers. Might you be able to tell me what they are?
Yeah, there shall be no supply of alcohol for the consumption of the permits except on the cell contain. No beer large. A minimum 4 cans. If I buy just 4 minimum of 4 cans or bottle of beer. No spirit shall be sold in the bottle of the less 35 milliliters.
Can you just say what you're saying about bottles again?
Yeah, should we just have that one about bottles, Elena, please? You start talking about bottles. I know there's 2 of you near the microphone, so we want to hear it. It's a bit difficult over the airwaves. It's a bit easier if we were in the town hall, but we do need to hear everything, and the clerk does need to hear it, but so do the 3 elected members who have to make a decision. So if you can be as clear as possible. I understand English is not your first language, but can we just get this about the bottles, what you were saying?
It's just 4 cans beer.
Where would you be? Sorry, Jane, is that all right if I come in at this?
Fine, yes.
Where would you be getting this beer?
4 cans is just.
Where would you be getting this beer from?
Sorry?
Who would be supplying you this beer?
Where are you going to buy it from?
Costco.
Where are you going to buy it from?
Costco is cheap.
Sorry?
Costco.
Costco,
yeah.
Are they on the approved list, John?
I hope so, Chair. I used to buy my beer from them.
No, but I just, you know, Graham, thank you for that intervention. But I did ask it's just for you know, just to be procedurally correct. I think I should go to the case officer for the answer.
Well, Costco's would have a premises license in its own right, because they are a venue that's open to general public as well as trade.
So you can go from one to another.
Yeah.
The establishment, there's nothing in law over that. But
No.
I just wanted to check with you. Yes, thank you. So you'll be supplying from Costco, or be a supply from Costco. Your agent said that there was that you were going to create a low-risk niche shop. So what sort of alcohols and beers would you be intending to sell? I get the point that you're a small grocery store currently. You want to be a one-stop convenience store. You're primarily targeted at Romanian and East European drinks. So what sort of alcohol would be in these cans or bottles if we were to grant you a license?
If I'm buy with the Costco,
Yeah. What would you be buying from Costco?
What type of beer?
What type of beer?
Yeah. Romanian English.
Romania English.
Right. Enough from me, I think, at the moment. Tony. Sorry, Councillor Tony Wilson. Sorry. Councillor Tony Wilson, can you hear me?
Yes, I can, Chair. Thank you.
Would you like to do some questions for the applicant or the agent, please?
Oh, well. Elena, hi, good afternoon.
Hi.
You have an EPOS till system. The till, you take money, you put the money in the till. You have an EPOS system. Explain what it does for me. Why did you buy that system?
Why did you buy?
Why did you buy the till that you put your money in? Why did you buy that particular system with the EPOS on it?
The EPOS I have from Barclays.
Now, what Councillor Wilson's asking you is, why did you buy that particular system rather than just click the till and put the money in?
From the invoice.
Yeah, no, I think the councillor wants to know what it does. That's
Yeah.
Tell the councillor what it does. Right. I don't think Elena understands, Councillor.
But she has a till.
She does have a till. I've seen it.
Yes, I have.
And it does do what you're asking her. Does it? I'll say it scans in. I've seen it do it. And it will ask. It will challenge.
Can we cross-reference the benefit of those people watching us on live? Councillor Wilson, can you get a paragraph reference for me?
Yes.
It is difficult. We've got people watching on live and, trying to keep...
Yes, it's page 21.
Yes, indeed.
It's part of their
Yes,
statement, which is no longer part of it, and it's literally paragraph 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Yeah. Yes.
Middle of the page.
Unless an EPOS
yes, you've got an EPOS system.
Yes,
right, now, tell Councillor Wilson what it does, why you've got it. She wants to know that you know what the till does.
I scan all the products and she showed me on the till,
Yeah, and what else does it ask?
And after I have everything, I pay the taxes from this one.
Okay, but does it do anything else?
Yeah.
What else does it do? Does it? I can't tell you the answer.
I know. Okay. Okay. Sorry. So, Elena, if someone age 16 come to your shop to buy beer, when you put it in the till, what does the till say? What does it do?
But if she have 16 years in the first time, I'm not saying I need to ask about the ID.
Yeah.
But does the till tell you? That's what the councillor wants to know. What comes up on the till when you scan
it?
The
drinks, isn't it?
Yes, but what else does it say?
Okay.
Okay, I think we better leave it at that.
Does it warn you?
Okay,
Graham, sorry, Graham.
Yeah.
Yes, we'll leave it there, Graham.
We'll go through the chair, please. There's too much dialogue, and I was trying to say we're wrapping up, but that was with permission of one of my colleagues, because it's a collective decision made on hearing everything from the 3 councillors who make the decision. So, please, can you respect that, please? Sorry, but there was too much noise. I couldn't quite hear whether Councillor Wilson wished to move on or not. I don't think she's moving away from her questioning slot, because I know that we try to be fair to all 3 of us, because it's 3 of us who make the decision. So, Councillor Wilson, I think you were agreeing we'd leave it there for that particular.
We'll leave that question there.
You have. I know you. I think, like Councillor Lofthouse and myself, well enough to know that you'd like to come back with some more questions.
Yes, I would.
Thank you. So you again, Councillor Wilson. Okay. The other Councillor Wilson, yes.
So, according to page 21, could you just verify that the CCTV cameras, now, according to this, you haven't yet had them installed. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
So,
yeah.
Okay. So, if we were minded to grant you the license, obviously you will then get the CCTV cameras installed.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. So, what do you understand? And according to your prevention of crime and disorder, which is one of the 4 licensing prevention, what do you understand on keeping footage for the police? How long would you keep your video with your recordings for?
It's from 1 month.
For 1 month. Okay. And who will have access to the CCTVs?
Me, my husband, and my son.
Right. Okay. And what happens if they break down?
I need to call urgently to change.
Okay. All right. You say also that you have a maximum of 20% of your store for alcohol. So 20% of what you will be selling in your shop will be alcohol. The space taken up. Yes.
Yeah.
So if we go to page 39.
This is the plan, everybody. On page 39, my colleague refers.
Yeah.
Sorry, Tony, just I'm talking to 2 audiences. Yes.
No, that's fine. Yes.
There's your plan.
Yeah.
You just got that little bit there.
Right.
We've got it, Councillor, yeah.
Thank you. So my understanding at the bottom of page 39 is the door to walk in and out.
Yeah.
One door.
Yeah.
Right. So, but the till and the counter is literally 3/4 of the way up the store on the left of the premises.
Yeah.
So before then, you have to pass a display unit that sells alcohol on the right-hand side. What alcohol will be in that display fridge?
Just the beer and wine.
Just beer and wine.
Yes.
Right. Has it got lockable shutters?
I'll answer that if I may, Councillor. No, it hasn't, because we didn't do it because we've got the same hours. We've got the same opening hours and the same requested permitted hours.
9 to 9.
So it's 9 to 9 for everything.
Right. Okay. Will she be storing any alcohol? Will you have alcohol in storage?
In the basement. Yeah.
On the basement, yeah.
And is that a lockable cupboard, a lockable room?
No, it's room.
Now, can you know what the councillor's asking? Can you lock the door?
No.
It's behind the counter anyway, isn't it?
It's no, it's downstairs.
Right.
It's downstairs.
Yes. Does the door lock?
Yeah.
Yeah, it does.
There's a lock on the door.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. So you will be selling the spirits and the cigarettes behind the till counter.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Yeah. Just I want to correct, because I want just the alcohol. I don't have nothing from cigarette. That's why.
Okay.
Because you said alcohol and cigarette.
Right. Okay. So where would you be selling where would you be selling the soft drinks from? The Coca-Cola, the orange, the fizzy pop. Where would that be sold from?
On the.
You've got another fridge here, haven't you?
Yes. I have another fridge behind.
It's, from my memory, Councillor, it's before you get to the alcohol display. There's another fridge next to it.
Yeah.
And the
The
soft
other
drinks will be
fridge
in
next
there.
to it says a meat display.
Yeah,
Yes.
we've got a meat display, and above that we've got a shelf.
You've got a meat display. I can't see shelf. Is there a shelf there? You've got a gap between the two. Where are you going to put the soft drinks? Just point to me. Point it on there.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. It's the shelf, the far side of the alcohol display. There's a shelf down there.
Right. So you've got the shelf on the left-hand side, which comes next door to the till and the
No,
counter.
the other side, Councillor.
It's on the front of the till.
Yes, you've got shelves there and the shelf there. So that's where you're going to put
it's in the front.
where
Yeah.
you're putting your cans.
Yeah.
So let me just hold it up. The cans of alcohol, sorry, the cans of soft drinks will be here.
Right,
So there's
not the meat
there's the-
display.
No, that's the meat display here.
Sorry, lift up the map some more,
Sorry.
please. Right, say again.
No. There's the alcohol fridge.
Yes.
The beers.
Yes.
And the Coke will be here. Coca-Cola and soft
Where
drinks.
it says shelf.
Yes.
Right. Okay, so
The
It's a little
opposite.
bit-
Sorry, Tony. So we're all clear. It's the opposite side where the till will be, with other alcohol
Yes.
being
Yes.
displayed behind the counter.
Yes.
So Tony, sorry to interrupt, but just so we're all clear, two sides of the shop.
Yes.
Tony, sorry.
So you have CC coverage, which will cover where the beer and wines are, and where the spirits, the till, and the counters are.
Yes.
Yes.
See, my concern is you will have if children were to come into the shop, they would have to go past the beer and the wine to get to the soft drink, which is further up. But yet you have space next to the till where I would see the beer and wine, so you will have an eye on it, because you've got a freezer in front of you and you can't have direct line sight to where the alcohol on the right hand side of the shop is.
Never. I'm not a single on the shop. I'm with my husband and with my son. It's not
Right.
only one person on the shop.
Yeah. And Councillor, if I can help you on that, when I've been, as I say, I have been to the premises in the last 2 weeks. From the counter area, you can clearly see that alcohol fridge, because there's nothing on the middle freezer that comes up above that level. It's such a small shop. It is a clear line of sight. And to help you, if I hold this up again, it's not that.
I'm going to say Johnny's trying to come in. John, are you saying you could display this for us?
Thank you.
Yes, I can, Chair.
Yeah, I think that would be helpful. Poor Graham is doing sort of. I thought that's what John was indicating before. Are you saying, well, that's as if by magic, John Chislett will bring it up? Are you saying that middle bit? Thank you, John. That middle bit where it's got freezer is like the old thing we used to always see in shops where the ice creams and the tubs are. It's sort of like waist height.
Yes, but
the waist height.
Yeah.
Or,
it's about waist height, Chair. Yes, yeah. I stood where it says you've got the alcohol display. There's a table there, and that's where I stood and went through all the conditions with the staff. And if I turn round, I could see clearly that alcohol fridge from floor height upwards.
Yeah, back to Councillor Wilson.
Right. Okay. So, okay, I'm satisfied with that. Yes, I am.
Come back for anything else, or shall we bring?
No.
There's a camera here that covers it as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's got full coverage.
Right,
I'm done for now, Councillor Chair.
Okay, that's fine. Councillor Lofthouse, anything further? I'm not rushing you. I'm just saying, you know, if we need to go through various points.
That we haven't really explored yet is Elena Giorgio's perception of the area. And
yeah, exactly. So I was going to go on to that, I think, again. Is that all right, Councillor Wilson and Councillor Lofthouse? We do this now in the statements made either by those pages that are restricted. So I'm going to be careful how I phrase this. There is reference, and your agent, Elena, made reference to this, that it's in an area, and the one of the representations, in this case, it is open and has been said today on behalf of the LBN licensing team, is that this is an already problematic area. The area has problems. Since you've had the lease of this shop, how many problems have you seen in this area? You say you and your husband work there. What are the
I'm not see. I'm not see one problem. I don't want to lie. I'm not see.
Well, how many hours do you work at the shop? No.
12 hours. 12.
So you may be stuck inside the shop, and I get that. But, you know, when you're outside the shop, or your husband or any other customers, have they never seen any problem?
No, I don't want to lie. No, I'm not see. I want to be honest.
And what about problems of litter? Because you've offered up stuff about litter.
Rubbish in the street.
The rubbish on the street.
Yeah, you've seen that.
Yeah.
So she's put. I saw some general litter there, Chair, myself. To be fair, it's not for the shop, but you've got the usual where people are throwing crisp packets on the floor or cigarette packets, and they're offering to clean that up as well.
Right, Councillor Lofthouse, do you wish to explore this about the problems of the area? Question.
Really, just almost the question you've asked, whether Eleanor has seen any street drinking and cans around. Are you aware of the issues, the street drinkers?
You haven't seen any outside the shop? No.
No, I'm not seeing. I don't want to lie.
Okay.
How many
saying,
people,
no.
sorry, how many people, sorry, Jane, and sorry, Graham, just to clarify, how many people might have seen this? How many people at any one time are on the premises?
How many people do you allow in the shop at the moment?
No, so how many workers, not how many people are allowed in the shop?
How many staff normally?
Two.
Two staff, Chair.
Two staff. Sorry, Jane. So two staff.
I think I really asked the question actually, whether there are signs of cans around, or in Upton Lane, in that area.
I walked down it, Councillor, when I got out of a cab just up the road from Upton Park Station, walked down the other side as far as the pedestrian crossing and came back. I didn't see any cans, and that was mid-morning I went to the shop. So no cans, but general detritus, you know, the stuff thrown on the floor and things like that. So outside the shop, it was, I have to be fair and say, the frontage was clear, but Miss Georgia and her staff are quite happy to keep the front clear and the side up Grosvenor Road to make their contribution as good neighbours.
I'm coming back to the problems of the area, because we have a well-being power that is consistent with the Local Government Act under the Localism Act. So we have a well-being power. So whether we reside in this is, where is this? Is in is this Green Street West, I think. Whether we're representing that ward or not, we are aware of the problems in Upton Lane or High Street North or Stratford or wherever. So my question is not, and we don't make causal links, remember, between the premises and the issue. What we're trying to ascertain under the Licensing Act are the knowledge of the area by the applicant. So I repeat the question in another way. Are you aware, since the time you've had the lease, of any issues that we're addressing in the letters, either from residents or for the area? So ignore the litter one for a bit, because I think litter is not neither here nor there at one level.
No, the chair's just said forget the litter. Are you aware of any other issues?
I think we've done the litter one. I think it's okay. Is that Tony and Jane? We've done litter. We're concentrating on problems of the area.
The smoke on the street.
Elaine has just said that she is aware of the smokers outside the shop. The ones I've said are not her customers, but so yes, that she's aware of that issue. Are you aware of any other concerns about what the chair wants to know? Do you understand the area? You've mentioned the street drinkers yourself. Do you understand that?
Yes, I understand that.
Can you explain that to the panel a little bit? What you understand by street drinkers?
I understand, because it's not allowed to drink on the street, to drop the rubbish, the cans, the cigarette on the floor. I understand perfectly.
Right. Anything further from you, Tony or Jane? Sorry, Councillor Wilson. I should be formal. Sorry, Councillor Tony Wilson or Councillor Jane Lofthouse. Shall we start in the order that I saw the hands go up? Councillor Tony Wilson, please.
Okay. Elena, hello, very quickly. How many shops do you know? Because you must know Upton Lane. You must walk up and down Upton Lane. Do you know of any other shops that sell alcohol which is close to your shop?
No.
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 No other off licenses? No little supermarkets?
It's what is the name? COOP. It's on the Forest Gate station, and it's I think so. Yeah, it's 100 meters in front of me. Yeah, it's one with the red Coca-Cola. Which one? Someone told me because you have just alcohol there.
Right. Okay. So it's okay. So as far as you know, on Upton Lane, your shop, if you are granted license, will be the only shop that sells alcohol. Is that what you're saying?
No.
What are you saying?
It's another shop.
One more shop, one other shop you know that sells alcohol on that road.
No, in this road, I know just one. It's more,
There is more. How many more do you think there is in and around the area?
It's Coca-Cola one. It's on the front, the car wash 2, 4, 5, something like that.
4, 5, okay. And do you see a lot of people go into these shops?
Yeah.
To buy alcohol?
Yeah. When I'm going, because when I'm going the shop, I'm going the Forest Gate, and after I'm work with on my shop. Yeah.
Right. So you see.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you, Chair.
Okay.
Thank you.
And Jane?
No, I don't think so.
No, I've just got one more, and this is in terms of the statement that your agent made, which was in terms of, if I can find my notes, the trouble trying to share and look at two screens and refer to my notes, that you were a small grocery store and you wanted to make a one-stop convenience store so people don't have to go to one shop to then buy alcohol to the others. What is the current request for alcohol? How many people come into your shop, do you think, and would request alcohol, and they're disappointed when you don't serve it?
No. What the chair's asking you, I'll just repeat the question. I won't give her the answer. How many people come into the shop and say to you, "Oh, you don't sell alcohol? Well, can I buy alcohol here?"
If she comes someone and she asks me about if I'm serious alcohol, yeah, she coming every single day. She coming and she asks me if I sell alcohol, and I'm saying no.
And you said was it just one customer who keeps coming in, or is it, you know?
I think that's a term of speech.
sorry. So I was asking how many.
Yeah, how many?
This is about scale. I was just trying to get an idea of scale, because you've requested to this licensing committee to sell alcohol, and I'm just asking you what you think the demand is, and it depends on the answer to that. I'm ever supplementary.
Right. So if you get 10 customers in, how many would ask for alcohol?
Yeah.
2, 3 per day.
2 or 3.
2
or 3 per week or per day.
Per day. I want to be honest.
Yeah.
I told you because I'm no liar.
Yeah, no, exactly. No, and we like honesty. And
no. He come in 2, 3 days. Maybe if it's weekend, you know, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, he come 4, 5, 6.
Right. Sorry?
More.
Yeah, exactly. Yes, it was probably related to that, Jane, was it?
Not exactly, actually. And I appreciate you're in no way responsible for the people who might hang around on the corner. But it has been said that there are a few people hang around the corner. What sort of times of day do those people hang around there? Could you find people on the corner there smoking, talking, any time of day? Or is it just at night? Or have you noticed?
Yeah, no, I understand perfectly the question. Yes. Sometime I give you example, you know, if she rainy outside, I have 2 car wash on the shop, you know, and the people, when she close the car wash and she coming in the shop and she stay in the front of the shop to smoking, you know, and I'm saying, yes, it's not alone because it on the Upton Lane, every time she come the police, you know, and I don't want to the problem. I'm explain nicely, and because it's not nice to stay on the front of the shop to smoking so off the corner.
So any time of day, odd times of day?
2 times per day, 1 times per day. Maybe in one day it's quiet. Do you know?
Late?
Is it more towards the evening?
No. After 5 o'clock.
Right.
Okay. Thank you.
Now the representations have been made on the grounds, and we've explored this in terms of the prevention of crime and disorder and the prevention of public nuisance. But we did ask about the licensing objectives. Where is the nearest secondary school that goes up to the age of 19 in regards to your premises?
Do you know where the nearest school is?
No, the nearest school.
No, the nearest secondary school around your way.
Councillor Tony Wilson asked about other off licenses. We often do ask applicants because we have a duty under the Act to talk about the prevention of children. Children is interpreted in law up to the age of 18. There are school students very close to this, and I just wondered, you know, how close and what was the name of the school, if you could tell me how close it is.
No, I don't know.
You don't know?
You don't know?
You don't see school children walking past?
I see every single day the children, you know, because at 3 o'clock they finish the school and at 9 o'clock they starting. Yes, I see every day. But
okay.
Yeah, I think we'll leave it at that. Is that okay, everybody? Yeah. Now, Graham, you know what I'm going to say.
Yes,
I think we do have a right to reply and summing up. And thank you, everybody, for your questions. And we haven't made any references, I don't think, that contravenes the non-disclosure stuff. So try not to bring in anything that's pertaining to the restricted agenda item. But if you wish to just summarise why you think we should grant this licence.
Thank you, Chair. Is there anything you want me to add?
No, thank you very much.
Right.
Thank you.
I'll just do my bit. You've heard the Miss Giorgio's case. Sensible hours. I think we've got a full list of robust conditions there. If it does help you as well, we've talked about the training, Chair. I'm going next Tuesday. If you grant the licence, I'll be going Tuesday morning at 12 o'clock to carry out the first staff training. And, you know, we offer the mentoring service as well. So quite clear that we do talk to each other. And Miss Giorgio will be asking me questions if she's got any concerns. But I think you have got a responsible operator. She's run the shop now for 14, 16 months without any issues. I would ask you to give her that chance and to grant the license as applied for. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. And thank you for being so brief as always, Graham. Thank you. Now, we do have to pass a resolution at this stage. We're an administrative hearing under the Licensing 2003 Act. So we're now going to pass a resolution where we deliberate in private. We will come back, obviously, and I think, Graham, you would have told your client this, that we make our decision. So can we have the screen go up and the instructions, please, Pauline, from the Zoom helper?
Yes, I'll open the breakout rooms. Everybody gets a room. And if you don't go into a room, please turn off your video and microphone because we continue to broadcast live even when you are in deliberation. So I'm going to open all the rooms now.
Please join the relevant rooms, please. Thank you. Good afternoon, those who are patiently waiting for us on the YouTube channel. We are not actually at the end of our deliberations. We just need to come back as a full panel to hear some further information. This would happen sometimes in the East Ham Town Hall chamber when we come and go. So please bear with us while we're reassembling, and then we'll go out again.
Sorry, we just popped out the back.
No, it's an error on my part. I take responsibility. I'm chairing this. I forgot to and we're not at the end of deliberation. I forgot to invite the responsible authorities to actually ask questions of the applicant or their agent. So sorry, Joanne, we left that out completely. There was some miscommunication on that, so I take responsibility for bringing you back. But we'll go out again. This is not deliberation. This is the opportunity for questions. I know Graham has summed up, but just in case you have questions, we do need to hear them.
Yeah.
No, I didn't actually have any questions. I would have said, Chair. Sorry,
no, that's fine, but we do need to be procedurally correct.
Yep.
Simon, do you have any questions or any advice to the panel? Anything further?
No, I've no advice to give you in this public venue.
No, that's fine. You'll be behind scenes giving us advice, obviously.
Yeah.
Sorry about that error, but we do need to be publicly aware of representations being made. It was the same if we'd had members of the public here. We do need to hear if they have any questions procedurally. So thank you very much for your patience. We will now go out again. So can I leave it to you, Pauline, this technical thing about how we go out
Here
again?
we go again. I'm going to
Thank
open
you.
the rooms, and if you don't go into the room, please turn off your video and microphone because we will still be live streaming.
Thank you very much.
We seem to have lost connection with the agent.
Good afternoon, everybody. We have reached a decision, but we're just waiting for everybody to reassemble. So thank you for your patience in this process, and thank you for your patience while we've been deliberating. I don't know if we've got everybody back yet, Pauline, have we?
Yes, I was just waiting for the applicant and agent, and they're back on screen.
Thank you very much. Now, thank you for your patience, everybody, and thank you for the way that you've conducted yourselves throughout this, particularly bearing in mind these remote hearings are more problematic. So let's hope that you can all hear me still. Is everybody hearing me? Sorry, I'm meant to ask. So can I ask the clerk to read out our decision, please?
Thank you, Chair. The application is refused. Whilst the subcommittee listened carefully to the applicant's submissions from herself and via her representative, the subcommittee was not convinced that the applicant demonstrated a thorough enough understanding of the locale around her shop, nor of the licensing aims. Because of that, the subcommittee felt that the applicant would not be able to meet those aims, in particular the prevention of crime and the prevention of public nuisance. The application is therefore refused. A full written decision with reasons will be provided with the aim of it reaching the applicant within 5 working days.
So thank you very much for that. It just remains for me to say that the applicant, responsible authorities and interested parties may appeal against our decision to the Magistrates' Court within a period of 21 days. And that does conclude, I think, everything, Nisha and Simon, yes? Yep. So thank you very much, everybody.